Welcome to the Talk FC Bay and welcome back here to the channel, guys. And yes, it is about that time, the day after a phenomenal display, in particular from Lionel Messi. We are going to be looking back at that game, some incredible Lionel Messi stats, and just analysing what was yesterday a fantastic all-round performance. There were some really good moments in there, certainly things that we can take into other games and really apply to our very best ability. And at the end of the video as well, we do maybe come down a notch a little bit, just with the injury news that Thomas Vermaelen has been ruled out, and we may need some defensive reinforcements very, very soon. But that's coming up later. But right now, let's kick off with the magic man himself. It's Lionel Messi. Now, yesterday for me, Lionel Messi's performance away from home against the Levante side, just like I said in my review and the preview as well, this is a team which is good opposition. Levante are a good side. They've beaten Real Madrid this season. Messi yesterday did this against a team that are no pushovers. He made them look bad. That's what he did. He made them look like a much worse team than they actually were. And there was just something about Messi yesterday. Obviously, he scored 3 times. He got 2 assists. But it was more than that. There was a moment in the first half for me which really stood out, because a lot of people think, Messi now, 30-odd years old, he's getting on, he's not quite got the same pace, he's not quite got the same intensity in the way that he plays and goes out in every game. But this game yesterday, he had that look in his eye. In that first half, there was a moment where the ball dropped to Messi just inside the Levante half, and he had about 2 or 3 men to beat, but they were actually sitting back and waiting for him to actually come onto them. And Messi took that ball, and he really was electric. He sprinted at Levante. It was incredible pace, incredible speed, a high-intensity sprint from Messi, driving at Levante. In the end, it didn't quite come off, but you can still see there that hunger from Messi, that hunger to succeed, that hunger to keep proving people wrong. When people talk about him, when they talk nonsense about him, this man will hit back every single time. He's still got that ability, he's still got that raw pace, and yesterday we saw everything laid out in front of us in what was a masterclass. And with his hat-trick yesterday, Messi became the only player right throughout Europe's top leagues to register 10 plus goals and 10 plus assists this season, which only really highlights the overall genius that we're dealing here with Lionel Messi. Look at the stats here in La Liga. Just have a look at those kind of numbers right there, where Lionel Messi is not just top of both charts, he is comfortably on a league of his own right there in terms of goals and in terms of assists. And you'll notice there, you look at the other names on that list, you've got Suarez to the left, you've got Griezmann to the right. No player there on either list are on both lists. No player have been commanding in terms of goals and assists apart from Messi. He is somebody who will score goals and he will create them. He's a master of both trades, and really, we have the best of both worlds with this man. The 3 goals last night as well took him to 50 goals in all competitions during this calendar year in 2018, and of course, he still has 1 match to go with Celta Vigo coming this weekend before the Christmas break in La Liga. And in reaching those 50 goals throughout the calendar year, that means that Messi has now scored 50 plus goals. Now listen to this, 50 plus goals in 8 of the last 9 calendar years. 8 of the last 9 years, this man, 50 plus goals. That is ridiculous. When he's gone, when he's no longer playing anymore, when Messi is not around anymore, that kind of stat will be absolutely unrecognizable. Scoring that amount of goals across that many seasons, consistently delivering week in, week out, year in, year out, that kind of consistency does not exist anywhere else. It's incredible, it's unthinkable, and really is so good. And also, you're thinking last night, Messi's got a hat-trick, he's got 2 assists, it's a phenomenal game, that is a once-in-a-lifetime game there, right there. But no, Messi has scored a hat-trick and provided 2 assists already in his career, not only once. Last night's game now means that he's done it 3 times throughout his career. Against Almeria in 2010, Osasuna in 2011, he did the same, and Levante last night really does make it incredible. And I want to talk more about the chances created. We all know about the goals, we all know that Messi can do with the ball. And just look yesterday at these chances created, because genuinely, he could have had probably more than a hat-trick of assists. He had 2 assists yesterday, but it could have been 4. You look at the Suarez chance inside the area, he puts it on a plate for him, it's a great little slide pass into the area, Suarez should score. Late on as well, a lovely little ball, nicely weighted into the pass of Denis Suarez, who doesn't quite finish it off. Messi consistently provides chances for his teammates, he opens up the field, he gives you chances on a plate. It's all about taking them. And this man, so good, so massive, I can't get over it. I cannot get over the ability of Lionel Messi. And one final stat before we do sadly have to move on away from Lionel Messi. Messi has now scored an incredible 43 hat-tricks in a Barcelona shirt. 43 hat-tricks. And there was a brilliant graphic here used by Goal, who I'm not a massive fan of, but they did create a very good graphic here with his match balls. And just look at that. All of the match balls that Lionel Messi has won, has collected in his Barcelona career so far, and with Argentina as well. So many hat-tricks, so many goals. So much brilliance. But look, away from Messi yesterday, there were some good performances right across the field. It wasn't all about Messi. It was a good team display. We did well to reshuffle and use a different system. Valverde electing to go with 3 at the back. And one person that I want to highlight for a really job well done is Ousmane Dembele, because it wasn't easy for him yesterday. He was thrown out on that right-hand side. He was almost playing at times like a right wing back. When Levante went forward, when Morales was really attacking and going for him, he was really wide on that left-hand side. Dembele had to be aware, and he had to work really hard. And I think yesterday he would have given Ernesto Valverde a real statement, because a lot of the times in big games, particularly big European games away from home, you hear people say things like, Valverde can't trust Dembele defensively. He doesn't trust him to work hard for the team, do his defensive duties, and that's why he's on the bench. Well, last night, Dembele showed he will work hard. When he's given that responsibility, when he feels like he has to do that, he will certainly do that. And he did very well in terms of ball recoveries, getting back. You can see here with the graphic, 2 crosses blocked into the area. He did well. He got back in, he helped Gerard Piqué, he did what he had to do, but also that didn't stop him being effective going forward. Even though he had that defensive work to do, he still managed to get forward, create the most dribbles yesterday. He was really good at breaking into the Levante half, and of course he did draw the red card, which reduced Levante to 10 men. After a really excellent run, he picked the ball up on the halfway line, driving at Levante. He went around one player, then went around the man who got the red card, but he clattered into him, took Dembele out. He wasn't standing for that, and he got rightly sent off. But Dembele yesterday, the way I would describe it was a really mature performance, a very solid display, and I think that'll go a long way with his coach, Ernesto Valverde. But like I mentioned at the start of the video, guys, sadly we'll be ending on some more disappointing news in today's video, because it does regard Thomas Vermaelen, who of course was subbed yesterday in the 51st minute. He went off, Arthur came on, Rakitic then went to centre back, as we spoke about in the match review. At the time, it didn't really seem as though there was an injury. Vermaelen didn't hobble off, he didn't get stretched off, he didn't really go off clutching his thigh or his calf or anything like that. But tests this morning have confirmed that Thomas Vermaelen did pick up an injury in that game, and sadly he will miss 1 month of action after suffering here a calf injury, adding to yet another bad moment, a bad injury in what has already been an injury hit season for the Belgian centre-back. And I feel for him, because it's not Vermaelen's fault. He's very injury prone, but he doesn't choose to get injured. Clearly out there yesterday, it was a big moment. He was getting a start. He would have been really happy with that, and sadly once again his body is just broken down when we really needed it. Because if we think about Samuel Umtiti right now, he is still in Qatar, he's still in Doha doing that individual work. We still don't know if he's going to have surgery on that knee injury, but right now, and as far as I can see, Umtiti is not going to be available right now at all. We can't really expect to have him back anytime soon. Vermaelen now injured for a month, which leaves us once again with Gerard Piqué and Clement Longley, the only fit 2 first team centre backs that we have available. We've got Chumi, we've got Cuenca in the B team. I think we've got to see them in the first team getting some minutes, because we could very much need them, particularly through the month of January. There's a lot of games in there. There's Copa del Rey. We are going to need more than 2 centre backs in the first team, no doubt about that. And in January now, we may well see somebody brought in the defensive situation, whether it be sort of a stopgap, maybe somebody who comes in who's got experience and he can just sort of play there for a few months, then we'll let him go in the summer, a short-term deal, or maybe something a bit more long-term if the right player does appear. But Vermaelen's injury out for a month, certainly not good news for us. And that brings us to an end with regards to yesterday's win over Levante. 5-0. Messi at his very best and cementing our place at the top of La Liga. And of course, we have learned today that our Champions League last 16 opponents are Lyon, and a video I did earlier on reacting to that draw. So please check that out if you haven't already. If you have, thank you for being an incredible supporter of this channel. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for keep on coming back, watching the videos and getting involved. I will see you soon with more uploads, but until then, as always, Visca el Barça.